Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Print Storage here, and today we are taking a look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Convenience in the autumn green metallic. This is really the only color that they have in the entry-level Forester. So Convenience, as I just mentioned, is entry-level, but base model does not mean basic anymore. This is very, very well equipped. 25 Forester did get a redesign. It is still a boxy SUV styled vehicle, which is what the Forester's kind of always been known for, which is nice. It's not too far different from the others in overall size. Still have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, so tons of ground clearance, more than your average half-ton pickup. Instead of steels and hubcaps, you get aluminum alloy wheels, and it really adds to the premium look of the Forester. Subaru really upped the game for the 25 Foresters, if you ask me. So front end is definitely a noticeable difference versus the previous generation. It's a lot, I'd say, flatter, larger hexagonal shaped grille, and you're gonna see a lot of that hexagonal design language throughout the design of the new Forester. We've got a hexagon filled with textured plastic, which is hexagons. We've got new LED steering responsive headlights. Now I have had a couple people mention that they felt that these were physically smaller than their previous Forester headlights, and they were a little bit concerned about the light that was gonna throw. Luckily, I've had people take these overnight and do some evening driving, and they are happy to say that it's actually better than the previous ones, including the LED headlights from the previous gen Foresters. So still steering responsive. We've got high beam assist, they're phenomenal. We got the cladding around the wheel well a la Subaru, very, very typical of Subaru to do that. Functional vents, and as I mentioned before, 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels, and you've got Yokohamas wrapped around them. They're same tire size, 225 60 R17s that were on the previous ones. Non-painted mirror caps on the Convenience. Gray plastic, which is great, especially if you're gonna be going off the beaten path. Roof rails with the standard tie downs front and rear. Now, the upcoming owner of this Forester opted to add crossbars to it, which is nice if you're gonna get anything like a Thule to put on it. Fuel door is still on the rear passenger side. You push to open it, massive door, and when the driver door is unlocked, the fuel door is unlocked. When the driver door is locked, fuel door is locked. So very, very easy. There's no release lever inside. There is an emergency fuel door release inside the storage area, which is nice. They moved a lot of the badging to the back exterior, or on the sides. I shouldn't say the exterior, but the back. Symmetrical all-wheel drive, of course. New styled headlights, and of course, it says Subaru, but half of a hexagon, and it wraps around, goes into that gloss black, which surrounds the Subaru logo, and comes around, and you've got the other half of a hexagon. So like I said, lots of hexagonal design language. We've got, right below that gloss black, we have Forester debossed into the rear hatch. It's been a very good job on Subaru's part of elevating the overall look of the Forester, and all of their redesigns gives it a more premium look. We have, again, more hexagonal design language, hexagons in there. Then our exhaust finisher, exact same thing around it, which is nice. To open it, I like to line my finger up between the two stars, and you lift. There's a little rubber switch there you press. But tons of room in the back of the Forester. It's tall, wide, and deep, very, very boxy. Upcoming owner decided to add a privacy cover, because in the entry level it does not come with that, and it doesn't come with a cargo tray, so we added both of those. Cargo tray has a little bit of a lip on it. It's a topographic map. We've got some texture, some hidden Easter eggs in the Forester. Nice hard mount physical tie downs at the front and rear of the cargo area. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side, in addition to a 12-volt power point on the rear driver's side. Now, this privacy cover can be removed, it's just telescopic, and it actually fits in the slot that goes all the way across. We've got a bunch of room, and underneath that, we've got our spare tire and tools, which I hope none of you ever need. If you need additional storage, these seats fold down. You can do them one-handed, but you can dramatically increase the amount of storage you have in the Forester. People can car camp in these, tons of room. We have a LED cargo light in the hatch, as well as inside the storage area. Light is not an issue. We've got storage hooks. Probably wouldn't use them while driving, because that would probably impede your rear view vision, but great if you're tailgating or you're camping somewhere, you need to hang something, grocery bags, the like. Easy close hatch. Nice solid sound. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not. Second row, seats fold up one-handed. Pretty easy. There's lots of headroom, lots of leg room in the Forester Convenience. There's a ton of room in these. You can fit 3 adults comfortably across. You get the, I'd say it's a lighter gray cloth upholstery. It's not super light like almond, but it's not black. It's not a dark gray. You've got that hexagonal pattern on the center, and we've got blue contrast stitching. So all of our Foresters have contrast stitching, some color. Really easy access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children. Great if you have car seats in here. I was initially concerned that without a cover like the previous ones, this was gonna dig into your butt or your lower back. Does not seem to be the case after many hours being in test drives in the second row. Out of the center console, even the entry level has 2 USB ports, USB A and C for charging, along with a little storage cubby. We have 3 map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. Storage is not an issue at all. And then we have a textured step. And the reason we have this, Subaru wants you standing on this if you're putting something on the roof, loading something in like a Thule or a Yakima box, because that's more centered in the vehicle. And 2, the tire sits inside the fender. You're not gonna get as much of your foot on the tire as you are there. And if I'm standing right here and I go right to the back, I'm right at the back of the rack system. Most of the time, if you have a cargo box or anything, most of it is going to be this portion over here. I'm probably gonna end up leaning, depending upon how you have the crossbars oriented, of course, but you could be leaning and put yourself in a precarious situation. Subaru doesn't want that. They're all about safety. Now below that step, I get asked about this little black slot all the time. More so on lighter colored vehicles because it pops out versus on gray or black, but that is what this extra side impact crash safety bar locks into, and that is designed to help stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision, which again, I hope none of you ever experience. They've increased the size of this third rear window on both sides. So when you shoulder check, you've got a better view. Now, these have virtually no blind spots to start with, but the Forester is even better than it was before. The rear door card is soft touch in the entry level, soft touch armrest, and then we have a little bit of storage with a large bottle holder below, your power window switch, and of course, child lock if you need that. We've got more hexagonal design language, and it's an elongated hexagon there. And again, you've got the hexagonal pattern inside of it. Up front, door card looks very similar to the rear in terms of colorway and soft touch materials. Still the door card, still the armrest. The front driver's window is auto, regular power windows for the other 3 windows. Window lock if you want to stop someone from playing with it. And then we have our power mirror adjustment. Really easy to use. Very intuitive on Subaru's part. Below that, we have a little bit more storage with a larger bottle holder. And then you've got more Easter eggs, a little bit more texture. Front driver's seat is the exact same seating material as the second row. Very, very comfortable. It is a manual seat. You've got a 6-way adjustable power seat. So it is height adjustable on a pump system. Of course, your back tilts, and then of course, manual bar at the front there. And these seats are specifically designed for long distance travel. So you get less vibration and harshness through the bottom of the seat and the lower back, which results in less fatigue. And the idea is when you're less fatigued, you're more alert and you're less likely to be involved in an accident. By the driver's left knee, we've got blanks. On higher end trims, those will be some buttons. We've got scroll wheels. Great place if you're gonna put light bars or something like that on one of our vehicles. Good place to put a switch for that. Now, this is the only Forester in the lineup that still has a physical key. You probably saw it when I was showing you the fuel door, but you get 2 entry-level keys with it. You've got lock, you've got a unlock, and trunk unlock. It doesn't power open, it just unlocks it, along with the panic button. Regular keyed ignition, nothing fancy there. Comes to life, gauges come to life. And apparently I left the rear hatch open. Didn't close it hard enough. I'll be right back. So I just needed to give it a little bit of there. So yeah, we've got our easy to read gauges. We always have our digital speedometer. We've got our analog speedometer. We've got our tach, temperature, fuel, and we can change this little screen. It gives us a different piece of info depending what you want to look at, which is nice. And you change that with this arrow. This used to be volume, but it doesn't matter if you toggle up, down, just goes back in the opposite direction. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can accept calls, hang up calls, issue voice commands, or access Google Assistant or Siri through the wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Volume is now left to right, and source switches from AM to FM to Bluetooth to USB, etc. We can switch between our presets. Headlights are auto with the momentary safety switch, so if you turn your headlights off, next time you turn on the Forester, they're gonna default back to auto. So you can't accidentally be driving around without your headlights on, which is nice. I like them on right now. Right-hand side, we've got our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Both of those use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. They're responsible for automatic emergency braking as well, which saves you 10% on your basic insurance, which is pretty nice. I know it's only 10%, but 10% is 10%. When you turn on cruise, you get an image of the Forester there, and you'll notice that there are 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So when you set your cruise speed by pulling down, those 3 horizontal lines underneath the 0 kilometers an hour there will change to whatever speed you've set it to. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour means you'll follow at a distance of 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. Pretty handy. It's great for long road trips. If you want to follow closer, each time you press the down arrow, it decreases the bars. In the north, 3 or 4 is plenty. Below that, we've got our lane centering. So when I turn that on, I get the image of the steering wheel. You've got those gray lines on either side of the distance markers for the adaptive cruise. Those will illuminate white on the corresponding side when you're above 60 kilometers an hour, and these EyeSight cameras can see the road lines. After it does that, it works really well in cruise. It'll actually give you gentle steering input to help keep you centered in your lane. It is not hands-free. It'll actually get mad at you if you have your hands off the wheel for too long. So it's nice to have, again, a great aid for a longer road trip. Below that, we have sport and intelligent drive modes. So it defaults to intelligent for every day. You can see down here, it says P for park to the right of that, I for intelligent. Press S. Yellow line gets a little bit more aggressive, and it says S, so sport. You're gonna sit at a higher RPM, you're gonna use more fuel, it's gonna be more responsive, and you can do that on the fly, great for passing. Wipers are on the stalk on the right. Mist setting is just 1 up, and it'll do that. We've got our rear wiper. Very handy. And if you want fluid on the front windshield, you just pull and hold. And I'm not gonna do that and cover this in washer fluid right now. Entry level gets 2 7-inch infotainment displays instead of the 11.6 in the higher ups. We still have physical button for your 4-ways, which is nice. Physical volume and tuning knobs. And then this is a little bit more opaque than usual because it still has the transit plastic on it. I'm leaving it on for the new owner to peel off if they want. Under apps, we've got wired Android Auto, wired Apple CarPlay. You get a 3-month trial of SiriusXM, so you get SiriusXM Travel Link. Under settings, you've got general sound, phone, radio settings. Physical buttons as well. Those always take you here. Phone allows you to hook your phone up to Bluetooth to make and take calls, accept calls, change your music, all that. Radio and media is pretty self-explanatory. You can turn the display off. And then you've got valet mode. And you can add additional shortcuts if there's somewhere in the settings you often go to make adjustments. Again, physical buttons, radio, media, phone, they all take you where you want to go. Radio will take you to radio. Below that, we've got more vehicle driving stuff. So we've got X mode, which is like Subaru's equivalent to 4 low. You have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it. Changes the screen, you get X mode, you get the little downhill descent control and the rough terrain icon there in the center of the screen. And that works up to 40 kilometers an hour. It'll kick out if you exceed 40 kilometers an hour or the wheel spin is simulating more than 40 kilometers an hour, or you can turn it off. Very simple. We've got vehicle control settings, cruise control acceleration, how fast you get back to your cruise speed. You can turn off traction control, you can turn on auto vehicle hold. You can turn off the steering responsive headlights. So if you don't like the headlight swiveling left and right, you can disable that. It is very handy for night though. And then driving assistance, you can turn off the automatic emergency braking if for some reason you wanted to, though we don't recommend it. You can change the lane departure, so you can have it just buzz at you. You can have all the functions. You've got all of that. And you can change the warning times for if you're crossing lines, you're gonna hit something. All things you can kind of customize to make it yours. We've got the ability to disable auto start stop. It does default on when you cycle the ignition, but really it's not that far away from the drive selector, so it's a pretty simple touch before you adjust the whatever gear you're in when you're driving. More settings, You can change the warning volumes, you can change the digital speedometer to miles per hour if you're traveling down south. And again, they give you another option to disable the auto start and stop. Subaru has a habit of doubling or tripling up on things, which is kind of nice. We have our climate controls, physical buttons on either side, and it goes up or down in 0.5 degree increments each time I press it. And if I want to sync it because my passenger gets out, I just simply hit sync and it goes back to that. If I touch where it says the temperature, it brings up the options, the airflow, if I want AC on, max AC. It's all pretty simple, easy to use. We've got heated seats, 3 stages for both driver and passenger. High, medium, low, and off. If you just press and hold, turns it off as well. Fan strength buttons. Got our heated mirrors, heated back window. And below that, we've got our USB or auxiliary and our rubberized device storage area. As I mentioned, automatic CVT. We do have low gearing, if you're off-road, going down something super steep. And sorry, I didn't show you. When you put it in reverse, backup camera pops up. It does show you the top of the bumper there, so you have something to relate to. Very, very handy. And of course, as you move those lines, or your steering wheel, those lines move. Electronic park brake, you pull up to activate. Still displays on the dash. If I push down without my foot on the brake, it says to press the brake. To press the brake, off it goes. And that's because it's a push down, and a child or a pet could actually accidentally push it down and disable it, or someone even putting their drink back in the cup holder, which is actually very conveniently located, especially for the driver, could push that down accidentally. We have a 12-volt power point, a little bit of storage behind it with a rubberized bottom, semi-soft touch armrest with quite a bit of storage in it. And then up top here, we have our LED map lights. We've got the door switch, so it's set to door right now, so when I open a door, lights come on. Like that, simply turn it off. Sunglass storage, it is carpeted inside. And then we've got card holders on each sun visor, vanity mirror, and these can be moved to the side. And you've got a sun visor extender if the sun's directly at the driver's left or directly at the passenger's right. So that is a quick look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Convenience in the autumn green metallic. Really the only color that the Forester comes in. When I mean only color, I mean something that isn't black, white, or gray. Still that SUV styling, oxy. 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance. And I did forget to mention earlier, it is powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine producing 180 horsepower. It's a good balance of power and efficiency in a vehicle of this size. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Thank you for sticking with me and watching my walkthrough of this 25 Forester Convenience in the autumn green. If you guys have any questions about this car, please put it in the comments below. Love hearing from you guys. Love answering your questions. And if you're in British Columbia or willing to make the trip to northern British Columbia to find a Subaru, please reach out to me. I would love to help you find your perfect car. Again, Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.